Hello, welcome to this lecture series. In previous lecture, I have discussed about the different coordinate system like Cartesian, spherical and cylindrical. And I have also discussed the gradient, divergence and curl in different coordinate system. Now, today I am going to discuss the Dirac delta function. It is very important for electromagnetic theory because if we want to represent the charge density of a point charge which is placed at any point, then the charge density of that point charge can be written in terms of Dirac delta function at that point. So here I started with one dimensional Dirac delta function which is defined as delta x. This will be 0 if x is not equal to 0, and if x equal to 0, the value of Dirac delta function will be infinity. Here we can see in this figure, at x equal to 0, the value of Dirac delta function will be infinity, otherwise it will be 0. And it's follow this integration, the integration around the whole space of Dirac delta function, this will be equal to 1 if limits enclose the center. Otherwise, the value of this integral will be 0 because we can write this Dirac delta function like this, delta of x minus 0. So if this 0 enclosed by this limit, so this integral will be 1, otherwise this value of the integral will be 0. So here we can also see the delta function of x minus a defined as if x is not equal to a, this value will be 0, and if x equal to a, the value of delta x minus a will be infinity. So this figure can be draw like this. If x equal to a, so this will be x equal to a. If x equal to a, the value of delta function of x minus a will be infinity, and if x is not equal to a, the value of this delta x minus a will be 0. And here we can see this integral also. This integral will be 1 if a lies in between the limit, and this integral will be 0 if a does not lies in the limit. So in this way we can define the Dirac delta function. Now the properties of Dirac delta. Now here is the property of the Dirac delta function. The first property is delta function is a symmetric function. That means if we replace x with minus a, then the value of delta x minus a will be delta x. Now the second one, delta function of k times a equal to 1 by k into delta x. And the third property is fx into delta x minus a equal to fa delta x minus a. Similarly, the fourth one is limit minus infinity to plus infinity fx delta x minus a into delta x into dx. This will be equal to f of a. This replaced by a, this fx x replaced by a only if a lies in between the limit, in the limit. Otherwise, this value will be 0 if a does not lies in the limit. Now it's very important. Now fifth one is delta x minus a into x minus b. This will be 1 upon mod a minus b into delta x minus a plus delta x minus b. Now let's start with some numerical. The first one is the limit or integration with limit -2 to 6, 3x square minus 2x minus 1 into delta x minus 3 into dx. So here we can use this property 4, any function fx into delta x minus a dx. So here we know that this will be f of a if a lies in between the limit. So here delta function, here we can write this delta function is valid only if x equal to 3 and 3 lies in between this limit -2 to 6. So 3 lies in this limit. So we can write this integral like this: 3x square minus 2x minus 1 at x equal to 3. Now we can put 3 directly here, x equal to 3. So here 3 multiplied by x square means 3 square, this will be 9, and minus 2 multiplied by 3 minus 1. So this will be 27 minus 7, and the answer of this integral will be 20. Similarly, we can solve b part. Integration 0 to 5 cos x into delta x minus pi dx. So here delta function is defined at x equal to pi, and the value of pi is 3.14, and 3.14 lies in between the limit range 0 to 5. So we can put this value cos x at x equal to pi. So the value of this integral will be cos pi, and we know that the value of cos pi will be -1. So in this way we can solve this. Now C part, the integration 0 to 3 x cube delta of x plus 1 dx. Now what is the value of this integration? Here we know that we can write delta function like this: x minus of -1. So here we can define the delta function at x equal to -1, and -1 lies in this limit or not. So here we can see clearly x equal to -1 does not lies in this limit. So this integral will be 0 because x equal to -1 does not lies in this limit range. So it's very important part. Now here the e part, e is integration limit -1 to +1 -1 to +1 9 times x square, and delta function 3x plus 1 into dx. Now what is this? What is the value of this integral? Here we can written like this: -1 to +1 9x square. Delta function, here we can take 3 common, so this will be x plus 1 by 3 into dx. So we can use the second property here, the property second, delta of k in times x, this will be 1 upon mod of k into delta x. So we can use this. So here 9 we can take outside, and this is mod 3. So minus 1 to plus 1 x square, and this will be delta of x plus 1 by 3. So this delta function is defined only when if x equal to minus 1 by 3, because this delta function can be written like this: x minus of minus 1 by 3. So this will be equal to 9 by 3 into minus 1 by 3 whole square, because here I have placed at x equal to minus 1 by 3 at x square. So this will be 9, and 9 this is cancelled, so the value of this integral will be 1 by 3. Now the last example for this Dirac delta function, f is the find the value of, now the f is find the value of x d by dx of delta x. This question asked in CSIR also. So let's solve this. To solve this, we can start with this d by dx of x into delta x. Let's differentiate it by parts. So here x d of delta x by dx, because first into differentiation of second plus second into differentiation of first, this will be 1. So now what is the value of this? So for this you can use the third property. Here is the third property. If any function fx into delta x minus a is written, we can write f of a into delta of x minus a. So here we can write like this: d by dx of x into delta x minus 0. So this will be d by dx of delta x plus delta x, and here we can use property third, and this will be 0, because here we can put x equal to 0. So 0 into delta of x, this the value of this differentiation will be, and here we can write like this: d by dx of delta x plus delta x. So this will be 0, this will be 0. So the value of this d by dx of delta x will be minus times delta x. So in this way we can solve any problem related to Dirac delta function. Now let's discuss the three-dimensional Dirac delta function. It's quite similar to the one-dimensional Dirac delta function, because in three-dimensional Dirac delta function we can write uh, Dirac delta function in x direction, and Dirac delta function in y direction, and Dirac delta function in z direction. And integration about the all space of three-dimensional Dirac delta function, and here around the volume element, this will be 1 if limit includes the this r minus 0. So this will be 1, otherwise will be 0, and all other properties are similar to one-dimensional Dirac delta function. So next one is the fundamental theorem of divergence. So here integration about the volume, and here integration about the surface. So first, so fundamental theorem for divergence, it's change the surface to the volume. So it defined as the divergence of V into d tau. This will be equal to surface integral of V dot dA. So it's very important for converting any surface integral to the volume integral. And the second theorem is the fundamental theorem of curl. This theorem converts the surface integral to the line integral. So it's written as curl of V dot dA, surface integral curl of V dot dA will be equal to line integral of V. So it's also very important. Let's use this theorem for the problem. So here problem is given, any vector V is defined as 1 by r square into r cap. And here in this problem, it is asked, verify the Gauss divergence theorem for a vector V over a sphere of radius r centered at origin. Here, suppose this is the sphere centered at origin and its radius is capital R. And it is asked to verify the divergence theorem. So here we know that the divergence theorem is volume integral of divergence of V dot d tau equal to surface integral of V dot dA. So let's verify this theorem. So let's start with LHS. So here first we have to calculate the divergence of V. And here the vector V is given in terms of the radial coordinate only r cap direction. So we know that in a sphere there are three coordinates r, theta and phi, which I have studied in earlier lecture. So divergence of V can be written in terms of spherical polar coordinate, in which only r cap can be written here. So in a spherical polar coordinate, divergence can be written as 1 by r del by del r times r square into V of r. V of r means only r component of this vector. So here only r component is present. So this will be 1 by r square. This r square will be cancelled. So this will be 1 by r square del by del r of 1. So we know that the differentiation of any constant will be 0. So left hand side shows the value of this divergence will be 0, and the integral about around the volume element also will be 0. Now let's start with right hand side. So राइट हैंड साइड से अगर हम स्टार्ट करें तो यहाँ पे हम देखेंगे, यहाँ पे सरफेस इंटीग्रल है और यहाँ पे हमारे पास जो वेक्टर है वो है आर कैप बाई आर स्क्वायर डॉट डी ए। अब हमें यहाँ पे देखना है कि हम एरिया एलिमेंट क्या रखें। तो ये हमें हमेशा काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है हमें चूज करना कि हम एरिया एलिमेंट को कैसे चूज करेंगे। तो एरिया एलिमेंट को चूज करने के लिए हमारे पास यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है कि एक स्फेयर है जिसका रेडियस आर है। तो रेडियस कैपिटल आर या रेडियस आर दिया होने का मतलब ये है कि रेडियस यहाँ पे कांस्टेंट है। तो हमने पिछले लेक्चर में पढ़ा था कि ऐसा सरफेस जिसका रेडियस कांस्टेंट हो, तो अगर रेडियस कांस्टेंट है तो चेंज इन रेडियस क्या होगा, 0। तो हमारे पास ओनली थीटा और फाई वेरिएबल आएंगे। जैसे कि अगर हम इसमें देखें स्फेरिकल पोलर कोऑर्डिनेट में, ये स्फेरिकल पोलर कोऑर्डिनेट हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था, और ऐसा सरफेस हमें चाहिए, ऐसे सरफेस का एरिया चाहिए जिसका रेडियस कांस्टेंट है। तो उसके लिए हमारे पास में क्या आएगा, आर स्क्वायर साइन थीटा डी फाई। ये बहुत सिंपल है, अगर आपको लेंथ एलिमेंट है आपको क्लियर है तो क्योंकि चेंज इन रेडियस जीरो होगा, ये टर्म आपके पास जीरो हो जाएगा। आपके पास यहाँ पे देखिए आर स्क्वायर साइन थीटा डी फाई इंटू आर कैप डायरेक्शन। सो इस तरह से हमें क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करना काफी इजी होगा। तो हम यहाँ पे लिखेंगे आर स्क्वायर साइन थीटा डी फाई आर कैप। अब हमें पता है कि आर कैप डॉट आर कैप कितना होता है 1। तो इस तरह से हमारे पास में एंड आर स्क्वायर कैंसिल हो जाएगा। तो हमारे पास में सरफेस इंटीग्रल विद रिस्पेक्ट टू थीटा एंड फाई हमारे पास में यहाँ पे है। तो साइन थीटा एंड डी फाई। लिमिट क्या होगा, आपको यहाँ कंप्लीट स्फीयर दिख रहा है। तो सिमिलर अगर हम फिर से इसे स्फेरिकल पोलर कोऑर्डिनेट में जाएं तो अभी आपको कंफर्म होगा कि फॉर कंप्लीट स्फीयर थीटा की जो लिमिट है वो 0 टू पाई है और फाई की जो लिमिट है वो 0 टू 2 पाई। तो इस तरह से हम प्रॉब्लम को बहुत इजीली सॉल्व कर सकते हैं। तो ये लिमिट हमारे पास 0 टू पाई होगा और जो दूसरी लिमिट है ये 0 टू 2 पाई होगा। अब साइन थीटा डी थीटा, इसका आपको पता है कि साइन का डिफरेंशिएशन माइनस कॉस होगा। यहाँ पे आप लिख सकते हैं माइनस कॉस थीटा एंड लिमिट 0 टू पाई एंड डी फाई आपको पता है कि इसका लिमिट 2 पाई होगा। और इसको आप सिंप्लीफाई करें तो यहाँ पे 2 आएगा एंड टोटल इसकी वैल्यू आया 4 पाई। तो यहां से हम देख रहे हैं लेफ्ट हैंड साइड इज नॉट इक्वल टू द राइट हैंड साइड। LHS is not equal to RHS. So what is the problem? What is the problem? Is Gauss divergence theorem is incorrect, or which I have in which I have taken some wrong value or some wrong integration? What is the problem? So here you can see we have given this vector v इक्वल टू आर कैप बाई आर स्क्वायर। ये वेक्टर हमें गिवन है। अगर आप इसे देखें तो ये हर एक जगह डिफाइन है एक्सेप्ट आर इक्वल टू 0। तो इट्स डिफाइन everywhere except r equal to 0, because at r equal to 0 vector v at r equal to 0 this goes to infinity or this blows up. So here is the problem. This means that this divergence of v is valid everywhere at outside the point but not at origin. So this value comes to the 4 pi. So divergence of v also we have to find 4 pi, and if we have to exclude the origin or we have to define the origin also, so what we have to choose? तो अगर हम यहाँ पे देखें, यहाँ पे ये हमें कब मिलेगा, ये एक तरह से ये लिखा हुआ है कि अगर हम इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड का, अगर आपको एक्सप्रेशन याद हो किसी एक पॉइंट चार्ज को, जैसे सपोज यहाँ पे एक पॉइंट चार्ज रखा हुआ है, तो इसके लिए इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड का एक्सप्रेशन क्या होता है 1/4 पाई एप्सिलॉन नॉट q बाई आर स्क्वायर इंटू आर कैप। तो ये सिमिलर हमारे पास में लिखा हुआ है, अदर टर्म तो कांस्टेंट है आर कैप बाई आर स्क्वायर। इसका कहीं ना कहीं से ये मतलब है कि एक कोई चार्ज है जो ओरिजिन पे रखा हुआ है और वहीं पे उसकी चार्ज डेंसिटी मैक्सिमम है। तो इसके लिए हमें उस पॉइंट को हमें इंक्लूड करना होगा, और उस पॉइंट को इंक्लूड करना है तो किसी एक पॉइंट पे अगर चार्ज वहां पे है या कोई डेंसिटी है तो सबसे बेटर होगा कि हम उसे डिराक डेल्टा फंक्शन के टर्म्स में रिप्रेजेंट करें। तो ये क्लियर है कि डाइवर्जेंस ऑफ आर कैप बाई आर स्क्वायर ये होना चाहिए 4 पाई डेल्टा क्यू बार। अगर हम इसको लिख लेते हैं तो अब ये हर जगह डिफाइन होगा, 0 पे भी ये डिफाइन। कैसे? अब आप देखिए कि इसका डाइवर्जेंस डिफाइन। तो हमारे पास में जो प्रॉब्लम थी उसको एक बार फिर से हम करते हैं। लेफ्ट हैंड साइड वाला पार्ट, डाइवर्जेंस ऑफ v इनटू डी टाउ। and integration about the whole volume. And we know that this divergence of V is 4 pi delta q bar. So 4 pi now we have taken common, and delta cube r, and here d tau. So what is this value? So you can see here this value will be 1 from here. All space integral delta q bar d tau, this will be equal to 1 if limit include the origin. So here we can write it like this: 4 pi volume integration delta cube r minus 0 and d tau. So here 0 include in this sphere. Here we call, if you see the question, in this question it is told that the vector v is over a sphere of radius r centered at origin. So this sphere includes the origin, because so if this sphere includes the origin, so this value, the value of this integral will be 1. The value of this integral will be 1. So here we got the 4 pi for left hand side, and right hand side also we got 4 pi. So this will be correct. So the problem is that in divergence, if we include the origin, then it's closer. So to avoid this, we can write directly here the value of this vector divergence of r cap by r square. This will be 4 pi delta q r. So it's very important, and it will be used many times in electrostatics problem, because we know that the electric field equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught uh, q by r square r cap. So if we want to divergence of this, then we have to use this uh, this expression every time. So in this way it is very important. I think it's clear. Now let's start with other problem also. Here the first problem is test the divergence theorem using the function v equal to y square I cap plus 2xy z square j cap plus 2yz z cap. Take as your volume of the cube shown in figure with side length 1. Side length 1 means the length of this cube is 1. So divergence theorem, test the divergence theorem. We know that the divergence theorem, the integration about whole of the volume, divergence of any vector v into d tau, this will be equal to surface integral of v dot dA. Here A is the vector element. So let's start with left hand side LHS. These questions are very important because you can clearly understand how to put the volume element and how to put the surface element of these sides, or whole of the surface, or total volume of the cube in differential form. So let's start with divergence of V. Divergence of V, and you know that the divergence del I cap del by del x plus j cap del by del y and plus k cap del by del z dot v, this is y square I cap plus 2xy plus z square j cap and plus 2yz z cap. Now let's take the divergence. So I cap will be 1, and for other it will be 0. So it will be del by del x times y square and plus del by del y times 2xy plus z square and plus del by del z times 2yz. So you can here you can see here this will be 0 and here the integral will be 2x and here differentiation will be 2x and plus 2y. So here the value of the divergence of v will be 2x plus y. This is the divergence. Now we have to take integration about whole of the volume. So the value of the volume element of divergence of v into d tau will be 2 times integration x plus y. And what is the volume element? Volume element will be in differential form. So here q here, so we can write in Cartesian form dx dy dz, and you can write like this: the integration x times dx dy dz, and remember this is the integration about whole of the volume, and plus integration y times dx dy dz. So in the next step you can write 2 times integration x times dx and integration dy and integration dz, because here volume, so this there are three integral, and plus dx integration y times dy and integration of dz. And what is the limit? So you can see here this is the cube and a side of the cube is 1. So here this will be 0 to 1. Here also this will be 0 to 1, 0 to 1. Here also 0 to 1. So every limit will be 0 to 1. So here we can see that this will be 2 times x square by 2, and x square here we can put a 1, and so here we can find 1 by 2 only, and here also y, and this will be 1. Here also we can get 1. So here d for dx also we can get only 1, and for y square by 2, so here we can get 1 by 2 also. So the value of the integration about whole of the volume divergence of v into d tau, this value gives 2. Now if we want to verify the Gauss divergence theorem, then we have to solve the right hand side also. So let's solve the right hand side. We know that the right hand side is the surface integral of v dot dA. So here we can see in this cube there are 6 surfaces. So we have to solve this integral six times. So let's start one by one. So for surface 1, here I have written for surface 1. Surface 1. So here we can see this is the surface 1. This is the surface 1. So what is the area of this surface? So we can write v dot dA or dA1. 1 means for surface 1. तो अब अगर हम यहाँ पे देखें तो हमें एरिया कैसे लिखना होगा वन सरफेस का। तो अगर हमें कार्टेशियन कोऑर्डिनेट में सरफेस एलिमेंट हमें नोन है तो हम बहुत इजीली हम एरिया को फाइंड कर सकते हैं। ये हमारे लिए काफी इंपॉर्टेंट होगा और अगर हम इसे अभी सीख लेंगे तो जितना इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक्स में जो भी प्रॉब्लम होगी वो सभी प्रॉब्लम को आप बहुत इजीली सॉल्व कर पाएंगे। कैसे होगा? अगर आप इस सरफेस को देखें, हम यहाँ पे हाईलाइट कर रहे हैं इस सरफेस को। ये कौन सा सरफेस है? तो ये कौन से प्लेन में है पहले आपको ये देखना होगा। तो ये वाईजेड प्लेन में है। अगर कोई भी वाईजेड प्लेन होगा इसका मतलब है उसके लिए एक्स क्या होगा? कांस्टेंट। और वो कांस्टेंट वैल्यू कितनी है? आप अगर यहाँ पे देखें तो ये x इक्वल टू ए पे है, एट x इक्वल टू ए पे है। इसका मतलब ये है कि आपको यहाँ पे नोन है कि जो dA1 है, तो x कांस्टेंट है तो आपको पता है चेंज इन x क्या होगा? वो 0 होगा। तो आपके पास यहाँ पे आएगा dy dz एट, अब कांस्टेंट क्या होगा? एट x इक्वल टू 1 पे ये सरफेस है। अब आपको वेक्टर v पता है, आप जस्ट इसमें वैल्यू पुट करिए और आपके पास में यहाँ पे इसका आंसर बहुत इजीली आप फाइंड कर पाएंगे। तो सरफेस इंटीग्रल ऑफ वेक्टर v, वेक्टर v आपके पास में है y स्क्वायर i कैप प्लस 2xy प्लस z स्क्वायर j कैप प्लस 2yz k कैप। ये आपके पास में वेक्टर v है। और आपको एरिया एलिमेंट आपको पता है कि यहाँ पे आई कैप होगा, क्योंकि अगर आप x इक्वल टू कांस्टेंट सरफेस है तो वही उसका नॉर्मल होगा और किसी भी सरफेस का नॉर्मल ही उसका उस सरफेस के डायरेक्शन को शो करता है। तो डॉट यहाँ पे है आपके पास में, आप एरिया एलिमेंट को यूज करिए dy dz आई कैप। आपको पता है कि आई कैप डॉट आई कैप ही 1 होगा, अदर सभी जो जो टर्म होंगे वो 0 होंगे। तो आप यहाँ पे लिखिए सरफेस इंटीग्रल y स्क्वायर dy dz इंटू आई कैप डॉट आई कैप 1 हो जाएगा, बाकी अदर सारे टर्म 0 हो जाएंगे क्योंकि आई कैप डॉट जे कैप भी 0 हो जाएगा और आई कैप डॉट के कैप भी 0 हो जाएगा। अब सरफेस इंटीग्रल है तो आप इसे दो इंटीग्रल आपको ही पता है इसमें है। तो पहला इंटीग्रल है वाई स्क्वायर डी वाई और सिमिलर जो दूसरा इंटीग्रल होगा वो dz होगा। अब लिमिट आप क्या रखेंगे? आपको यहाँ पे अगर आप देखें तो जो y में जो y डायरेक्शन में है वो भी 0 to 1 है और z डायरेक्शन है वो भी 0 to 1 लेंथ तक ही आपको यहाँ पे लिमिट दिखाई पड़ेगी। आप इसे सिंप्लीफाई कर लीजिए, आपके पास यहाँ पे देखिए y क्यूब बाई 3 अपर लिमिट माइनस लोअर लिमिट, सो हियर वी कैन गेट 1 by 3. So this is the surface integral and you can get easily. Now for surface 2, here for surface 2, for surface 2, so surface 2 is this surface. Let's remove this. Here you can see this is the surface 2, this is the surface 2, and this is also in xy plane, sorry, in yz plane. So in yz plane you know that the x equal to constant for surface 2 means आप यहाँ पे लिख सकते हैं yz plane and yz plane means x equal to constant and constant कितना है? ये x equal to 0 पे है, at x equal to 0। और इसका एरिया आपको यहाँ पे क्या होगा? dA2 इक्वल टू dy dz और आप यहाँ पे डायरेक्शन देखिए, ये नेगेटिव x डायरेक्शन में इसका है। अगर 2 वाले पॉइंट्स को आप देखेंगे तो आप यहाँ पे लिखेंगे माइनस आई कैप। ये आपको इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट आपको ध्यान देना होगा। तो सिमिलर आप यहाँ पे फिर से आप सरफेस इंटीग्रल को आप सिंप्लीफाई करिए। सरफेस इंटीग्रल v डॉट dA2 इक्वल टू सरफेस इंटीग्रल, आप सभी वैल्यूज को इसी तरह से आप लिखेंगे, आई कैप प्लस 2xy जेड स्क्वायर जे कैप प्लस 2yz के कैप डॉट dy dz and minus I cap. So you can see here I cap dot I cap will be 1 and other I cap dot j cap will be 0 and I cap dot k cap also will be 0. So in this way you can find this integral easily. So this is surface integral y square. Here I have taken outside the negative sign. So y square dy dz. So you can simplify this also. So this value will be first integral y square dy, and similarly for second integral 0 to 1 and 0 to 1. Okay, so everything is similar to this except negative sign. So you can get here directly minus 1 by 3. Similarly, let's solve one or two surface more. So for surface 3, so here you can see surface 3 is this. This is surface 3. And what is constant for this surface? X, Y, Z, what variable is constant? So you can see if this is the surface 3, so for this surface 3, y is constant because this is y is the perpendicular to the surface. So that axis will be perpendicular. So that axis will be constant or that variable will be constant for that surface. And this is the zx surface. This is the zx surface. You can see the coordinate. This is the z and this is the x. So any plane in this area, this is zx plane. So what will be the area? Here we can write dA3. Here we can write like this: zx plane, and for zx plane, you know that the y equal to constant. What value is constant for y equal to 1? So let's simplify this, and you can write the area also. dA3 will be dz dx and times y cap. Y cap or j cap you can write. So here I'm going to write j cap. So you can simplify this integral directly. V dot dA3. Now this time dA3 is only along j cap. So j cap dot j cap will be 1. So this integral will be surface integral 2xy plus z square and dot dz into dx. And you can put y equal to 1. So here you can put y equal to 1 because this surface is present at y equal to 1. So this integral will be surface integral 2x, sorry, here y will be 1 plus z square dz dx. Now you can solve this, and if you solve you will get minus plus 1 by plus 3 by plus 4 by 3. You can solve this. Similarly, for other surface, for surface 4, I have written here directly. You will get V times dA4. This will be minus 1 by 3. And for surface, you can try this 5 dA5. dA5 will be 1, and for surface 6, this is last one, V dot dA6, and this will be 0. So if you add all that, you can get all the area. So here for closed circle means all the surface. V dot dA, this will be, you can add, first one is the 1 by 3 and second one is the minus 1 by 3 and third one is the 4 by 3 and fourth one is the minus 1 by 3 and fifth one is the 1 and 6 is the 0. So you can add all these, you will get 2. So in this way you can verify the Gauss divergence theorem. Here for right hand also we have uh, found 2, and for left hand side also this is 2. So in this way we can verify the Gauss divergence theorem, and it's very important because you can understand or you can identify the surface and volume elements. So if you have any problem you can comment me for surface 4, 5, 6, because if you want to write for surface 4, this is the surface 4. So dA4 can be written as dx, dz and minus j cap, because this is the normal of this plane is along minus j cap. Similarly, you can write for surface 5. So if you see for surface 5 is the xy plane. So here dA5 will be dx dy, and normal of the surface is along positive z direction, so here this will be k cap. Similarly, dA6 will be dx dy, and this is along negative z direction, so this will be minus k cap, and this is present at uh, uh, at z equal to 1, and this surface is present at z equal to 0. Similarly, this A4 is present at y equal to 0, sir. Y equal to 0. So in this way you can try try it. It is very important. So you can learn a lot by using this differential form of this volume surface integral. So I think you can understand all about, and you can try all the problem in Griffith or and other books. Uh, so thank you for being with us.